water, but I got up around 8:30 and I just go like this and I let that fill while I put my celery juicer together. As you can see, I already started, but I put my celery juicer together. I go into my fridge and I usually have some celery left that I pre-washed the day before, and I grab 2 bunches and then I make my lemon juice. I have spilled that several times and my husband always gets mad, but then I like to take the lemon and squeeze it a little bit more because a little more comes out. I usually take my lemon. Sometimes it drips. And I take all the seeds that have fallen out. I scoop it out. And then I usually just wash my lemon peeler or squeezer. And I put it in my... Then I go to my... Well, I drink this while I actually set up my YouTube because I usually listen to something. And then I took 2 celeries, cut off the ends, cut off some of the tops that looked a little brown and stuff. And then I started washing it while I was making the old stuff. I only had like 4 little stalks left from yesterday. So I was juicing that while I wash. And that's where I left off. So that all took me about 10 minutes or so. And I stopped drinking my lemon water around 8:43, so around 9:03 I will have my celery juice, which I usually do my celery juicer with that on top, because there's a couple times that I would put my celery in the wrong cup, because I always have like several cups sometimes, and then I'll start actually filling a cup again to prepare for the afternoon and like have another lemon water. Or I'll do thyme and honey water, and I'll usually put that in a water bottle. So just pour it in, since I already had my lemon water today. And I'll start making that, and then I just wash everything. These small pieces I try to put in and not leave because they kind of fall in the holes. I always shake it off the best I can. And the small pieces I gotta push down. And I just let that go while I just rinse and run my finger through. I don't let it soak anymore because I was told by someone that MM had mentioned on a live not to let it soak because it can ruin the celery. The celery is very absorbent. And if you're letting the celery juice soak up your tap water, then it's soaking up all the toxins in your tap water. So it made sense to me, so I just do it this way now. Sometimes I'll let it sit in the bin that I had with some soap, some plant-based soap, which is this one, for like a couple minutes, not very long at all. And then we'll go from there. So I a lot of times too just let it go on its own. Like if you get it started, if you get it at a certain angle, it'll juice itself, which is really cool. So you just push it down, get it going. If it doesn't start going, sometimes I ask the angels to help me get it going, which I don't know if that works or not, but that's what I do. Then I start making my smoothies. So I've been doing the heavy metal detox smoothie in the morning, and then the extractor smoothie for my afternoon. The extractor has a couple options, but heavy metal detox is 2 bananas, 2 cups of blueberries. And so you see how there's some stuff up there. I'm just gonna go like this and let that process for a little bit. Kind of go back and forth. For my extractor smoothie, you can do a banana or a mango. I've been kind of switching back and forth. An apple. I like to do frozen mango when I do it, just because it's a lot easier than cutting up fresh mango. I'm so excited too, guys. Lidl started selling Wyman's blueberries, and I am so excited about that. I hope they continue selling it. Extractor smoothie. If I'm in a rush, then I have to push it down myself. So a lot of times while I'm doing my washing and stuff, I'll just have it go down on its own, and every once in a while I'll let it sit like this. Because if you force too much down, then you squeeze it through too quickly, it doesn't work as well. So you gotta give it time to process. Which is fine because I'm working on all this other stuff. So I let that, you know, sit for a little bit. This is cilantro. The cilantro from Lidl gets a little bit more quickly than the cilantro from Acme. Just trying to go through and get all these. I try to do about a cup, so I just kind of hold it and I don't know what's about a cup. This little like plastic lining or silicone lining, whatever that is, and the celery juice was not juicing as much. Like I was using more celery for less juice, or more celery for about the same amount of juice. Here's my juice. Angel of disarmament, please help disarm. Angel of healing, please help heal. Angel of fertility, please help assist. Amen. And the time is 9:05, so I will. And look, see, blueberry got out, and if you don't get that, it will stain, so make sure you get them. Alright. So, usually I keep my cups over here in this bucket, but I use them, since I've been doing 2 smoothies a day, I've been using them a lot, so I'll take a sip of this first. I'll usually drink that on the way to work. Well, at least a cup of it. A cup to 2 cups. Not that much of it. I'll make sure I get all of the blueberries out. My parsley. And a teaspoon of mustard powder. I try to do a little less than a teaspoon because this is pretty strong. And you're supposed to use coconut milk, but I ran out of coconut milk, so I'm just using my filtered water. Not milk, coconut water. Coconut water actually increases the effectiveness of parsley to alkalinize the body by 50%, which is pretty cool. So depending on the time for my lunch preparation, because this smoothie is more my lunch, I usually have a pre-made salad in the fridge, so sometimes I'll grab that, or I'll grab leftovers from dinner the night before. A lot of times with the medical medium recipes, I don't eat the whole thing, so I'll have leftovers if I make a medical medium recipe, or whatever I had with my husband. That's always something too. And this one makes a little less than the Heavy Metal Detox Smoothie. And I don't always scrape the sides, but when I have time, I do. Finish my celery. Sometimes I'll put rosemary in there and some thyme. I'll make a thyme honey water. It depends. And these usually just go into my lunch bag, and I'll usually have an apple and a pear, or 2 or 3 apples in there as well to get me through my day. And I got a huge lunch bag because I was having huge salads, and also I was doing my 369 cleanses, and I had like 5 drinks to bring to school. So I know the one time I did my 369, I was doing back to school night, and I literally had all my drinks for pretty much the entire day in that bag. So it works. I'll usually at least just get out my supplements, keep it in this thing. I always rinse my celery juice cup right away, because if it sits, it's really hard to get some of the residue off on the sides from the mineral salts, I guess. I'm not really sure, but... And for my supplements, I just take out the pills. And then, if I'm doing, I actually was for a while, but as you can see, I'm out. I was doing a shot of blueberry juice in one of these cups. Just a shot of blueberry juice and putting all my tinctures in there. And then after I'm done getting ready, I'll do all that. But more recently, I've literally just been putting these in my mouth because I ran out of the blueberry juice. And we were on a tight budget for a little bit, so I didn't get any more, but I am going to get some more soon. So yeah, usually after I get to this point, I have to let my celery juice sit for at least a half hour. So right now, I finish around 9:13. So 13, 24, 34, 44. So around 9:44, I'll do all my supplements and probably head out the door because I'm actually going to go to church. It's a Sunday. Now this is the same timeline on the weekday, but instead of 9:15, it's usually 7:15. So I'll get up around 6:30, do all my stuff. That takes me about 45 minutes to do all that morning stuff, including drinking my lemon juice, my lemon water, and celery. And sometimes I'll clean up the kitchen in that time, but I think I just spent a little more time explaining things today, so yeah. That's pretty much it. Sometimes I'll get done like juicing and all, and I'll do the dishes while I'm waiting to drink my celery kind of thing. That's pretty much my morning routine, and then I'm ready for, the day with breakfast, lunch, and snacks before dinner, and then dinner is always where I mess up and have, lots of meat and fat and different things that I'm used to eating before I found medical medium. So, I hope that helped. And look out for next week. I'm going to go into detail on different timelines. And actually, I am going to show you too all my stuff that I do in a little bit. Stay tuned. So now I'm all ready to go, and I'm going to show you my routine with my supplements very quickly. For today, I'm just going to use organic orange juice to put my supplements in. This is not as good as the blueberry juice. I really enjoy the blueberry juice. The liquid B12 I usually put right in my mouth because it's pretty expensive, and I don't want to waste any of it. I always do the same for a propolis pure. So then I do licorice. And I'll do 1 to 2. I'll do milk thistle. This is supposed to be good for reproductive health. Ashwagandha is good for your nerves and calming you down. Iodine Edge is really good for thyroid health. So I'll do a couple drops of that. I can try to get up to 8 drops. I gotta get more of this. Olive leaf is good for immune system. Nettle is really good for strep, which I definitely think I have strep in my reproductive system too, so I just usually do 2 of those. I always do 2 zincs, 2 to 6 sometimes. Like if I'm starting to feel sick, I'll put 6 of these in there, or I'll put them right in my mouth and sit. And golden seal, if it's my 2 weeks, I'll usually do 2 or 3, depending. And the propolis pure, I usually put right in my mouth. This one is a little bit oily. Like, I don't think it's oil, but it's like a residue that sits at the bottom, and I don't like doing that. So then I just drink this. Put a little bit of water. Make sure I get the rest. And I usually just rinse, and then I'll use that again tomorrow. And then I'll go through my supplements, and I'll take 1 to 2. I haven't been taking this every day because this is pretty expensive. This was recommended by my fertility doctor, so I'm going to start taking that when I start going back to the fertility doctor. I take 1 to 2 of these a day. I don't know what GABA is, but the magnesium is something I definitely need. I saw something that if you are craving chocolate a lot, that you probably need magnesium, so that's why I did that. I usually do 2 of the D mayonnaise. This was micro C. I'll do 2 L-lysine and 2 of the black cohosh. And I will do 4 at a time usually, 4 or 5. So this is what I drink on the way to work. This goes back in my cabinet here. And I usually take this with me too. And that's my day. That's my morning routine. So I hope that helped you guys.